I forgot I was muted. This happens a lot after Friday, in which I mute for D&D. It's a shame. Ah! Because I had a really good initial scream right there. Hey Mango, thanks for the Prime sub. I appreciate the support. We're just out here grinding as usual. Oh. Oh. I thought it was the suicide guy from Serious Sam. Thank you. I live every day with the goal of behaving like the suicide guy from Serious Sam. I listened to Ace Combat, The Belkin War. The Belkins did nothing wrong. More like the Belkins did everything wrong. Ace Combat is a funny series because they have all these fake made-up countries, but they're still like, you know what? It would be offensive if we made this war be the fault of Eurasia. Let's just blame it on the Belkins again. It's the fucking Belkins as usual. And everyone's like, bravo, Japanese writers. Have you checked out the Fallout show? I've watched the first, like, 10 minutes of episode 1 before I assume that whatever cannibal tragedy is going to happen to force her to leave the vault or whatever. Because, I was watching it while I was drawing, and it had enough interesting stuff going on. I stopped watching it because I wasn't focusing on the drawing, which is the kind of the catch-22 about trying to watch content while you're working. You want to have something that's moderately entertaining, but not too entertaining, because then you don't actually fucking focus on what you're supposed to be, you know, doing. So, which is why audiobooks and I don't know, movies that you've already seen are kind of good. I watched Trainspotting for like the 8th time the other day, and I was like, yep, it's still entertaining. Do you have the same headcanon of Elf capable of taking any dong size? No. In fact, I think it would be funnier if, like, a super slutty elf is like, yes, this is the first time I'm gonna take human dick. Tee-hee. I'm so prepared. And then she's like, no, it doesn't fit! Ah! I imagine that's how Marcel from Dungeon Meshi behaves around cock. She wants the human cock, but when it actually goes in, she's gonna scream in pain. Because nothing has been entering that vagina in 700 years. I love Trainspotting. It is so fucked up, though. See, the first few times when I was watching it as a teenager, I was like, this is so fucked up and crazy. And all the heroin use was, like, the main appeal of it. But then, as an adult, rewatching it, I realized that basically all of the main characters, not even the main characters, everyone is a cunt. Even if you ignore the fact that the main character is also a cunt, all of his friends are cunts. And it's one of those movies where you're like, hey, those people you call your mates and your friends, they're actually not your friends. Friends don't get you hooked on heroin and then like show up and talk about you in your funeral like it wasn't their fault. You don't really have any responsibility to stick to your friends when they commit armed robbery. That's really not your friend. I know this isn't exactly particularly deep idea right here, but it's kind of hard to actually figure that out when you're a teenager. You don't have any real obligation to ruin your life over your friends. The baby scene is so fucked. It's just another dead baby, guys. Don't overreact. I am the wind of destruction! Netflix has an official internal term for this, second screen content, which is why they have like 8,000 different baking shows. And the one with the AIDS needles? I mean, AIDS needles aren't even that controversial or disturbing. It's just like, if you're shooting heroin, every needle is an AIDS needle, right? Anyways, heroin is so fucking 90s, bro. We've moved on from heroin and we have fentanyl, which, as hard as it is to believe, is even more addictive and can kill you faster. We're in a new age, baby. I'm not afraid of getting stuck with one. Pause me up. I think actually one of the underrated technological developments in my lifetime, besides shit like the internet and stuff, one of the underrated things is the fact that AIDS, if you're in a first world country, is almost basically cured. Even if it doesn't go away completely. Like, that's actually pretty fucking crazy if you think about it. That we went from, like, it just straight up being a death sentence when I was a kid to, like, I'm 37 now, and we basically made it so as long as you're on whatever expensive-ass, immunodeficiency drugs they have right now, you're not gonna die and you can even have sex. That's fucking mind-blowing if you told that to someone in, like, 92 or whatever, right? When people are like, I don't even want to, touch someone who has AIDS, in the off chance that it can be transmitted from skin-to-skin contact. I'd say it's right up there. There's like 2 or 3 huge technological developments in my lifetime. It's like the internet, smartphones, and AIDS medication is basically what improvements we've had. What improvements we haven't had is the cryptocurrency economy making fiat dollars irrelevant, VR revolutionizing gaming, NFTs revolutionizing art, the metaverse, and AI changing the paradigm for everything and robots taking over. I've had this rant before, but I just want to say that all the huge technological developments that are supposed to be mind-blowing in the last 15 years or so, none of them have actually panned out to be more than just a bunch of tech bros, like, wiping their face with their own shit, so I'm just kind of nostalgic for when our technological developments were actually impressive. HD porn. Hot take. HD porn doesn't actually make your fapping experience better. In fact, in many cases, your fapping experience is actively worse because of the high definition. High definition is for watching like beautiful mountain landscapes of the Swiss Alps in 8K HD on your 50-inch Sony TV or whatever. It's not for watching porn. The porn is better when it's in 480p and you have to imagine what's actually going on and fill in the blanks with your mind. Because if you don't, then you see that the porn stars has had like 30 tit jobs and you can see all the stretch marks and stuff. If it's anime hentai porn, then maybe the HD is helpful. Late 90s, early 2000 porn is peak. True. We were making our cultural superstars with our porn videos back then. Like Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian literally became famous thanks to internet porn video. Launching her fucking career. You wouldn't... Zoomers don't understand this concept because all of them already have their OnlyFans and they're fighting with each other trying to get their OnlyFans content in front of as most eyeballs as possible. But there was a time when having your porn videotape, like everyone, despite the inconvenience of having to pass around a VHS cassette, were like, oh my god, did you hear that this relatively irrelevant celebrity has a poorly filmed porn tape? Let's all watch it. Oh my god. And then they like were able to use that clout for the next 20 years. Hey Vanilla Gorilla, Giga Chad, thanks for the Prime sub. I appreciate the support. I hope you have a nice day. There will be blood! Where's the timer? It's off screen. I guess I could put it up. I was watching speedrunners and they're just like, you know what? Here's a pro tip for anybody who wants to be a speedrunner. Have the timer on screen at all times so people think that you're doing runs even if you're doing practice. And I was like, yo, that's a pro tip right there. For sure. You should just have your timer on at all times. Even if you're just chatting with chat while Mario stands around. If I was going to become a speedrunner, what game should I play, guys? I'm autistic, but not autistic enough to become a speedrunner, so I don't think that will ever happen, but... Now I feel like I'm speedrunning the stream. Here's a pro tip. We're all actually just speedrunning life, guys. Minesweeper, Zelda. I don't understand Minesweeper speedruns. How the fuck do they go so fast? In fact, I don't understand Minesweeper, period. There's too much math involved. Speedrun drawing? Yeah, that's what we're doing already, unfortunately. When will you stream more video games? When you guys actually tune in. I'm not exactly a giga popular streamer, but when I stream video games I have 40 viewers, and when I draw I have like 80 or 100 viewers, so... Also, I actually need to make fucking progress. No fun time allowed when you're suspending all economic activity to pursue your dream of being a mangaka. Super author, so... Toomba 2. Toomba was one of those games that, despite me being a PS1 gamer, I kind of missed. I missed the opportunity to play it. Would you rather be reverted to 32 years of age biologically or gain 5 years of artistic skill? I mean... Isn't it the same shit? Then I could just draw for 5 more years. I'll take the go down to 32, I'd say. If it's like a guarantee that I'm not just gonna die at cancer at 40. Meanwhile, you have 120 hours of Dragon's Dogma. Stop assuming I have like 50 hours of Dragon's Dogma. I haven't touched a video games besides attempting to get an A20 heart run of Slay the Spire started by running the RNG again and again, and then not actually getting past the second stage or so repeatedly in the past, I don't know, month or so. I took a small break for Dragon's Dogma. I'm not like you people who waste all of your life playing Dota and still only are stuck in gold or whatever. The revert to 32 just means you have to work for it. I mean, yeah, but if I'm only gaining the skill, that means I'm not gaining the time in which I could be self-promoting myself. So I might be better, but if I revert to 32, I can also improve the number of followers I have, and also use that time to, you know, prepare for like doing professional work in Japan and stuff like that. So there's more elements than just the personal skill. In fact, if you're drawing manga, the skill doesn't mean as much as you would think. Because you can be a shitty mangaka and still get by, right? We all know this. We've all seen One Punch Man, the original One Punch Man, so... It'd be gaining 3 years of life or 5 years of skill? No, it'd be getting 5 years of life. I think you guys don't know how old I am. I'm 37. So if I reverted to 32, it would literally be 5 years, extra 5 years of life. Which in my book is better than just the 5 years of skill. I guess the 5 years of skill would only be helpful for people who absolutely hate drawing, which is a lot of people, and they're like, oh, I wouldn't have to draw. I'd be gaining 3 years of life or 5 years of skill. Oh yeah, you're changing the question. When making a manga, what document side when doing page? Like, okay, so this is too small. What it's at right now, 1,900. I know this for sure, but I had started drawing on this at 1,900, and I had the storyboards at that, and I wanted to draw over the storyboards. So whatever it isn't 1,900, but you can look that shit up, because it's different depending on whether they're doing color printing or black and white printing. I think if you're going just like pure black and white printing, like standard manga format, it has to be like huge, like maybe like 6,000 by 6,000 pixels. But that internet should be online, because maybe, I don't know if it's in English, but it's definitely going to be in Japanese, because Clip Studio Paint has a shit ton of resources for that stuff. I mean, we can look that up right now. I have to look that up anyways. Woman. Let's use Japanese just to make sure, because like, who the fuck cares about American printing industry? I don't care about that stuff. Manga digital pixel size. Okay, so B4 size, 600 DPI. So you just need to go to new. Custom. Okay, so this is how you're going to do it. You go to a new image, you go to custom, you choose the B4 paper size, and then you make the resolution 600 dpi. So it's all already in the fucking menus, so you don't have to worry about it. Oh, in fact, you don't even need to. You can actually just comic webtoon. Then they give you B5. Why are they giving you B5? It should be B4, I think. Huh, interesting. Alright. B4, 600 DPI, monochrome, paper color white. Okay. So, it's a B4, 600 DPI. That means the pixel size is 6071 by 8598 pixels. There's your answer. If you're going for the Japanese printing publishing. If you're going for some other format and not necessarily the Japanese paper sizes, obviously it's not going to be a B4 shape. It might be a different shape. But it gives you a basic idea of how many fucking pixels you need if you're doing monochrome, which is 6,000 by like 9,000 basically. Hey Megatog, 20 months of being a BB simp, I mean subscriber, parasocial relationship, let's go. Hey guys, I'm your friend. I'm your friend, guys. LMAO. Parasocial pilled and BB Max. I should watch more streamers so I can further hone my skills of being a parasocial internet friend. What's the things that I should be doing to properly pretend like I'm your guy's friend online? First thing I should have is I should have a specific name for my followers, right? Hey, ball heads. What are you guys up to? Look at this special community we have. Be a woman. To be fair, there's a lot of titty streamers. If we go to Twitch right now, and let's browse IRL or just chatting. And instead of recommended, we go viewers high to low.
That's good. You just put it in there just now, did you?
No,
oh.
put it in.
You don't have to.
Put some in there.
You know what it would look really good
And
in?
you get to a woman with 20 viewers and stuff pretty damn quick.
From there,
All the people who are telling me that I need a VTuber avatar get fucked. I'm scrolling down into like the 30 viewers section, and holy shit, there's a lot of people with VTuber avatars. I'm looking at Neko Miki. Can Catgirl stream without scuff? YouTuber, anime, woman, Catgirl, chaotic, comfy, English crowd control right now.
Let's check on our other judge over here.
Besides, we already have enough shit on the screen. We have the chat on the screen, we have a fucking timer on screen, and we have whatever I'm drawing on screen. VTuber is a fad, it'll die soon. It won't die, it'll just be like all the low-level VTubers will get annihilated. The top-level VTubers will keep on going. It's just the same parasocial relationships shit. Men wasting their money because they want to believe that a girl likes them. It will never ever be a fad. This jazz kind of sucks. I'm gonna try something else. That's something that goes back to the oldest job in history, which is prostitution. VTubers is just prostitution for people who are no longer attracted to 3D women, and they have to have their wholesome anime waifu. That's the truth. When you consume too much hentai, you can no longer deal with human-based beauty standards, so you have to go toward anime, but you still need a parasocial relationship with some sort of non-existent female, so as a result, you go and you get the VTuber coom. Did you donate 20,000 yen to your Dojin-loving VTuber? No, I will never give her money. I like her better when she's suffering from poverty. The entire reason I started watching her was because I saw a video by her where she confessed that she wasted $60,000, her life savings, not 60,000 yen, $60,000 on advertising her streams. And she gained like 2,000 followers from that. And I was like, LMAO, what a fucking loser, I'll watch you. That's hilarious. Anything else in life, it's top heavy? Yeah, if anything, we kind of underestimate how less top heavy shit has become thanks to the internet. I think it's actually one of the few good things about the internet is that you don't have to be fucking Tom Cruise to be making a life as an entertainer anymore. You can live a mid-tier existence streaming a specific video game for like 1,000 viewers, and that's enough to like make a living. Saw someone donated a fucking 50k in a femboy VTuber stream, fucking batshit. I mean, it's femboy, so the people who participate in streams like that inherently probably have some mental illness going on. Yeah, the bank is at fault right there. Or whoever the parents are for that kid. You know how many top VTubers laugh at 50k, guys? They're not gonna laugh if it's like a one-time donation that's 50k. I mean, Jesus Christ, if you're gonna do that, at least, you know, spread it out over multiple weeks so she gets to know you because you donate like $400 every stream. That will make her care about you more than like dumping 50,000 in one go. But you know, there's so much mental illness in the donating 50,000 to begin with. Also, why are we saying donate? We need to think up a different terminology for the act of wasting your life savings on streamers, because you sure as fuck aren't donating. You're giving them money. You sad fucks. Money laundering speedrun. I wish it was money laundering. It would make me feel better for that loser. If you want to donate money in large amounts, give it to Baal. Actually, if you want to donate in large amounts, more importantly, don't do it in the form of a sub. Please do it in the form of... Actually, I haven't looked at my own page in a really long time, but... Let me actually make sure that the PayPal button is still up. It might have been removed when I got banned and then reinstated. Is the PayPal button there? I haven't looked at my own screen for so long. How do I even look at it? Sorry, this is great content. Can someone confirm whether the donate through PayPal is visible? Confirm whether the donate through Chill Hop donations. Yeah, it is. Yeah, click on the crying elf that I drew at the bottom and donate directly through PayPal instead of through the form of 50 gifted subs or something if you want to support me. Because whatever the fuck the Twitch algorithm is using right now is it's fucking bad. I don't know. At some point, I was checking the money I was receiving from Twitch, and it went from like $120 a month to like $90 a month, or maybe less, with the same amount of subs and shit. And I was just like, oh, Bezos is really screwing with the algorithm for which they pay us. They really don't want to pay us, and that's probably going to get worse and worse going forward. So you need a command for a donate link so it'd be easier. I mean, isn't there like a button? Just like click on the button. That should take you directly to PayPal. Someone confirmed that it's actually working. You don't need to actually donate. Fucked by billionaires on both ends. To be fair, I do believe they're not lying when they say that Twitch is not making money. I totally believe that. I mean, think how many streamers out there have like 5 viewers or less, or 0 viewers, and but they're still using server costs. The server costs must be absolutely massive, even if they skim off the top of the more successful streamers. Clicking on the elf takes you to your Stream Elements donate page to your channel. Does it not work though? Because I'm not using Stream Elements anymore. I don't know how the Stream Elements interaction works. Everyone was like, you have to stop using Stream Elements, it's ass. Everyone was like, you have to stop using Stream Elements, it's ass. Yeah, if it will take you to a separate screen that will, you should be able to click on the PayPal button from there. Apparently Amazon's whole plan was to use Twitch as free marketing for its gaming division, but all that has come to was New World, so yeah, Twitch operates at a loss. LOL. He said. LMAO. Amazon gaming division, LMAO. Remember that they had kind of a hero shooter multiplayer game for like 5 seconds? I'm pretty sure it's officially been shut down. I think it got shut down within like 3 weeks. Gaming division, haha, what stupid fucking logic. When you have $1 billion in a capitalist society, you're supposed to reinvest that. And once you've reinvested it in normal things like having more Amazon warehouses and making sure you have enough strike breakers so your employees can never unionize or whatever, then you start investing it in stupid shit, like being like, surely we can make an MMO, a successful MMO. Died within a week. It truly died at incredible speed. Like, even by failed video game standards, it died at a speed that we're not used to. It was just like, holy shit, it's already done? Yep. And of course we can't even remember what it was called. I honestly like that extremely typical Unreal Engine graphics. A lot of people hate that shit, but I'm kind of a fan of that Unreal Engine look. It reminds me of a more simpler time, like 2012. New World was a pipe dream too. I'm pretty sure New World has lost money. Oh, also, speaking of other stupid investments that Amazon has made, have you guys watched Rings of Power LMAO? I haven't finished it, but I keep on watching Rings of Power. I've been making progress on it because my mom has Amazon Prime, so I watch it just to show how much fucking money they wasted on the computer graphics. It's really impressive. It looks like they hired, 7,000 top-level CGI effects people for every single shot. And, except the story itself is absolute crap. BB mouth noises? Yeah, I had to swish my, saliva around. Fallout show looks pretty good, not gonna lie. Yeah. I mean, the thing is that all of these things are being made at a loss because, they're not getting commercials and shit. Fallout show is actually good ironically, which is why I'm not watching it, because I have to draw. Does it have ultra violence? If it does, I haven't got it. I've only watched like the first 10 minutes. But if it the difference of whether it has gore or not is kind of probably going to be the difference of whether I watch it or not. I really need my gore. It does have violence. Uh-huh. I won't be too picky. If there's some amount of violence, that's good enough for me. Okay, that's good enough. Also, I don't really care about shit getting spoiled to me. It's not a big... there are very few things in which I've regretted getting spoiled. One of them was, despite buying Persona 4 early, so I had the Japanese copy way before the American copy came out, I had it, like, ahead of time, and I could have played it and finished it without getting the fucking murderer spoiled. But I had to fucking dilly-dally along too much. And then somebody fucking spoiled the murderer in a doujin because I couldn't fucking not click on the various hentai doujins, so... But when I got to the point where you actually have to guess who the murderer is based on the hints that the game has given you, I was like, damn, it really sucks that I know who the murderer is. Because if I had figured that shit out and really, like, done the detective work myself, it probably would have felt really, really good. Alright guys, stop talking about the Fallout TV show if you're not gonna fucking actually if you're not going to spoil it and going to talk about, try and sort of dance around the content itself. Please don't talk about it. That's kind of annoying. Just like half talking about it. Spoil or don't spoil. It's like, hey, remember guys, remember that one time in Star Wars where that shit happened? Oh my god. I can't believe Luke's father is actually... Oh, I can't tell you. I can't tell you who Luke's father actually is. That would be too much. You'll have to see Empire yourself. I had to do that to get around the word band. Guys, stop using the N-word. Nuke. "4chan was as unsurprisingly angry that there's some sort of interracial romance in the Fallout TV show. That's all I really know about it. But considering that other Amazon Prime TV shows that nobody watch, if you watch it within like the first 3 seconds, they'll be like, "Hi, I'm a black oil rig worker, and this is my black lesbian." Oh, actually, it's white. It's usually a white female, like, engineer or something, and then she was like, "This is my black lesbian wife." Within the first 5 seconds of the show, I was like, "Holy shit, the DEI money is real." Specifically, the 2 shows I'm talking about, both Amazon Prime shows, was The Rig, which is about people on a fucking oil platform, except half of the crew on the oil platform is female. Like it's some sort of co-ed college. I'm like, yeah, okay, this isn't a serious TV show about oil workers if half the fucking population on the oil rig is female, let's be honest. And there's a lesbian wife relationship in the first 3 minutes of it, where she's like doing a video call with her lesbian wife. And then there's Citadel, which is Amazon Prime's attempt to try and create a James Bond TV show. And that also has like a woman be like, "Hi, this is my name and this is my wife," and it's like a black woman. This is also within like the first episode as well, and they never show up again. I'm just like, what the fuck? The DEI money must be so real. These fuckers need to stop pushing agendas and shit that has nothing to do with the subject matter. It's hard enough to create a good story just on its own without all your producers being like, "No, this won't sell. We need to have romance and this sort of plot device in it, blah, blah, blah." That was old Hollywood. Now, besides the whole "this won't sell," they're also like, "This has to be politically correct." So the chances of you producing something good without the producers fucking you over is like astronomically difficult, so they're just going through the checklist probably. That's what I'm saying. It's super funny because the black lesbian wife shows up and then they never show up again. Which means there's like literally a checklist that if you just check them off as like existing, you don't have to fucking show them again. And they probably had to reshoot a lot of the episode, and they're like, "Okay, we don't have time for this character, but we have to leave in the black lesbian just to be sure that we get the fucking money." There was probably an order from above that you cannot cut the black lesbian wife. gotta be inclusive. I just want the media that the director who's producing the media wanted to create. I'm not saying all of these people are geniuses, but whatever fucking idea they had in their head is going to be better than whatever corporate suits have in their head. So just give me that. If capes are so hard to draw, why do I try and draw so many damn capes? I just remember the new Star Wars trailer. It's always a checklist. I gave up on Star Wars in the first Disney Star Wars movie, basically. It didn't take me that far. A lot of people dropped it with The Last Jedi, but what was the first one? Not A New Hope. Force Awakens. When they just started going into the plot without giving you any kind of explanation about what happened to the Empire and stuff after the end of Return of Jedi, I was just like, holy shit. This thing isn't for me. I'm done. Disney has no fucking idea what they're doing. When the Force Awakens was like, this is exactly going to be exactly like A New Hope, except instead of the Death Star, we're going to have an even more powerful Death Star, and it's going to be an entire planet converted into a laser, and the laser is going to go through hyperspace, and we're going to blow up the Imperial capital, where like all of the population lives, because we don't need to have any kind of, you know, long-term planning for this. I was like, holy shit. Oh no, it's fucking broken. This is never going to be good. And I haven't watched a Star Wars movie since. I watched Rogue One and Solo Story, I guess. But anything that was involved with the new trilogy, I was like, I'm not going to touch this. Rogue One looked okay, never watched it. It's only okay. It's basically just a war movie. So it's not anything that special. I get that corporate requirement to have it as annoying and obvious, but it's difficult to get upset at the content itself. Like, I don't get how it's offensive to you. The 5 seconds in which they introduce a black lesbian character to get the corporate requirement is 5 seconds in which they could be doing actual storytelling. And then you never see them again. It lacks character. It lacks conviction, in which they're allowing the creators to produce something that is good. And if you lack that kind of conviction, the rest of the TV show is probably going to be shitty as well. And so far that theory has held true in most of the Amazon Prime shows that I've seen. It means you're not committed to creating a serious vision. In fact, I can't think of a single TV show or movie or something that I've watched in the post-DEI forced inclusion era that was better than mid, basically, that had the forced inclusion. Like, I can't think of one that was good besides the forced inclusion. I guess some people will say Fallout, and I haven't seen it yet, so... Season 1 of Mando. Well, I don't have fucking Disney Plus, so... Any Disney Plus shows is kind of like... I can't say. I mean, I don't watch much TV in general, so... I don't find that living life without being upset by this stuff is a lot easier. Well, I don't have to watch what I don't want to watch, but what shit is shit. I mean, this is my job, dude. I wouldn't be wasting a fucking month of my life drawing manga if I didn't have some personal opinions on what's entertaining and what's not entertaining. I'm a fucking creator, bro. If I see something that's trash, I'm gonna call it out for being trash. Because if I can't identify trash, then how am I gonna produce something that's good? Honestly, I think that the fewer number of cooks in the kitchen, the shit usually gets better. Which is hard to do if you have media and video games like TV shows, movies. You have to have a lot of people in the kitchen. Which is why it's easier to make, like, good manga than it is to, like, make a good TV show. So once you start letting producers and stuff dictate shit through DEI requirements and stuff, the possibility of having shittier content goes higher and higher. I have Disney Plus, yeah. I mean, you have to spend so much money for... I feel like Disney Plus is something that you have if, like, you have kids and you have to make sure that they get to watch Frozen for the 30th time. That's when you have to pay for Disney Plus. But if you're a grown-ass man, there isn't any real reason for me to have Disney Plus. If we're talking about new Star Wars Andor is the right direction, isn't the next Star Wars movie going to be like another Rey movie or some shit, though? So doesn't it... Aren't they not learning the lesson at all? I never liked Frozen. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. It matters whether, like, 10,000 5-year-old girls like it or not. Rey is next. I mean, they can keep on producing as much new Star Wars shit that they want to. I'm just not going to watch it. You keep on producing that stuff and I won't give you money. I haven't been to the movie theater in months now. Maybe a year, actually. Is it the same director? No, it's like... It's a woman who is making documentaries about women's rights in Pakistan or something. And then they had to walk a lot of the shit she said back because she was like, I don't know anything about Star Wars. Essentially, they were like, who is the most DEI, social credit score person can we hire? It's this woman who has been devoting her life to improving women's life in Pakistan so that they don't get killed by honor killings or some shit. So let's have her become a director of the biggest, sci-fi media franchise movie. Star Wars is fucked. Well, it seems like Disney is pivoting away from their... In fact, the banks that were doing DEI are also pivoting. They were like, oh, that whole thing where we're going to try and make the world a better place instead of blindly pursuing profit to the maximum. We tried that for like 5 years. It was a horrible idea. We need to go back to making money. Seems to be the general trend, unsurprisingly, considering they're soulless, money-making lizard people. Basically, this all comes from the rich-ass banks being like, we have so much money, let's make it so it seems like we're good human beings. That'll make us feel better. And then they were like, no, wait, that was a horrible mistake. The only thing that makes us feel better is the fact that we have $1 gazillion. We need to go back to maximizing profit. Let's never do that whole be a good human being thing ever again. Which is what I think is going to happen. I know they're rolling it back a little bit. It might not be that extreme of a rollback, but I think that's what's going to happen. People need to vote with their fucking wallets, bro. I mean, that's why it needs to be in the streaming service format. Besides, TV was always just kind of like content that was good enough to keep you occupied for a very short amount of time. It's not like people were exactly discerning consumers with the previous versions of TV, so... I'm not really expecting TV consumers to vote with their wallet in a way that will improve quality. Movies may be a little better. As we can see from all the current Marvel movies drastically underperforming. Disney can try as hard as they can to hide what a massive failure the Marvels was, for example. But we all know it was a fucking massive bomb because people are just tired of that shit. Marvel Phase 4 failed, we all know that. And no amount of accounting bullshit can hide it. It's Morbin time. I give the Sony shitty Spider-Man movies a pass because I think they literally have a deal with Marvel in which... Or not Marvel. Yeah, it was a deal they signed with Marvel back with the initial Spider-Man movies in which they need to continue to produce Spider-Man movies at a certain clip, like one every 2 years or something, or else they lose the fucking license. So if they want to make like Go Way Long Way Home or whatever, they also need to make Venom 3 and shit. Like, they don't have any choice because it's not their fucking license. So they have to make Madame Web and all these absolutely horrible movies, even if it's clearly fucking horrible. Obviously the better scenario is if they just made a good movie, but that's asking too much. Madame Web, surely you know the hit new Spider-Man IP property, Madame Web. As long as Disney doesn't get a hold of Spider-Man, it's fine. So I think that's what will happen if Sony stops producing Spider-Man movies. They can't sit on the IP, basically. I think it's in the contract that if they stop producing them, it goes back to Disney, which is pretty funny. So they have to be like Venom 5. That being said, I'm always up for more Venom silliness, so... There was a lot of boobage in the promo of Madame Web. It's supposed to be like the feminist prequel to the various Spider-Women or something like that. I'm not deep in the Peter Parker or Spider-Woman universe stuff, so I don't really care. Actually, the number one reason why I don't watch movies in the movie theater right now is because it's too far. Distance DK, the fact that it takes 20 minutes to get to the movie theater is much more impactful to my life than any kind of content related reason. Because the movie theater that was close to me, the multiplex that was close to me, closed during the pandemic. It didn't survive the pandemic. So if the other multiplex that's still around, it takes 20 minutes or 30 minutes one way to get there. So I ain't fucking driving for an hour back and forth just so I can watch a movie. Fuck that. Spider-Man is unironically the best hero for making money. Yes. He has been for a very long time. I mean, he was the big moneymaker for Marvel, like, in the 90s as well, like in the comics, so... Actually, it was X-Men for a really long time. I think I might actually just erase the face. I'll make that change later. I haven't really figured out what I want my this picture to look like. What is your opinion on Rogue's butt in the X-Men TV show? What, the new animated one? I mean, I don't have Disney Plus again, so it's irrelevant to me. The OG one, not the new one. I'm thinking which X-Men I want to have sex with the most. The answer is obvious, Psylocke. It's not even close. I give Rogue a lot of extra points for her full body skin tight suit, but they all have full body skin tight suits, so it's kind of hard to differentiate for her just on that. I like the fashion with like the small jacket and the gloves, but Rogue was always kind of a mid character from my perspective. There's a new one, LMAO. See, this is another complaint about the current media landscape. They're just being like, remember that thing that was popular in the 90s or whatever? Let's redo that. Let's have like another Ghostbusters movie. Everything is so fucking safe because they just want to get like nostalgia bucks. Because they think it's a safer way to make money, and they're probably right. Rogue literally was useless in my opinion. Isn't her... Can she fly all the time? Or does she only get to fly if she sucks guys' powers? She has to fly up to you and, like, kiss you and shit. Is that her entire power? I can't believe she got into the X-Men versus Street Fighter fighting game, considering she doesn't seem to have, like, any, you know, moves or anything. I would say that her only use is to be Magneto's cock sleeve, but that would allow her to actually do something because she needs skin-to-skin contact, and also Magneto is too angry to have sex, so she can't even do that properly. When Jean Grey is in charge of sucking Professor X's crippled dick, you know that you're out of a job, Rogue. What are you gonna do, literally? Isn't there an X-Man who's just a blue guy? Yes. There's actually multiple X-Men who are just blue guys. There's a blue guy who teleports, a blue guy who's a blue guy and is smart, and a blue woman who can also turn into a blue guy. She could fly and had super strength because she had some of Miss Marvel powers. Yes. The standard superhero pack, when you can't think of anything creative or have her use her powers in a creative way, just make the superhero fly and have super strength. And if that seems too normal, give them the power to shoot purple beams out of their hands. Beast, Nightcrawler, Mystique. There's probably a few more blue characters, but those are the big ones. Who's the devil guy who teleports between worlds? Nightcrawler. There's also X-Men characters who were big in the 90s, but you've never seen since then, like Dazzler. Jubilee. You actually see Jubilee here and there. Is Akali your favorite League of Legends fat material? Sure, whatever. I don't give a fuck about League of Legends. League of Legends has awful character designs. Fuck League of Legends. I wish there was a button I could press that would cause all the Korean fan artists, porn artists who draw League of Legends content to instead start drawing Dota content instead. Because I find the Dota character designs significantly better than the League of Legends character designs. Although that shit has all been taken over by gacha at this point, so it's kind of irrelevant. Everything's blue archive now, so Jubilee was a vampire at one point? Who gives a fuck, dude? American comic book, like, oh, in this season, we're gonna temporarily make Peter Parker into an undead zombie with AIDS, and he's gonna kill Mary Jane with his radioactive spider dick, and this is gonna be the most dramatic story of all time. And then they're like, okay, we're going back that was just an alternate reality. None of our storytelling has consequences because we can't actually have something that's permanent because we have to put all the toys back in the toy box and take them back out and use them again. This is the reason why the American comic book industry is absolutely getting ass fucked by the Japanese manga, because people, despite all the complaints they have about Jujutsu Kaisen having a shitty story, they still prefer to have like actual storytelling at some point. Have you seen the hot evil version of Wonder Woman? Yeah, I think someone has asked me to draw her at one point, which is why I looked her up. This is the one of like Crisis on Multiple Earths, alternate dimension, chocolate-colored Wonder Woman, right? Yeah, she's pretty hot. She's hotter than the normal Wonder Woman, which isn't saying much because normal Wonder Woman is fucking mid as hell. I just want to read a story. I want to read a story that has been thought out by the author, whether it's good or bad. I don't want a fucking corporation being like, we need to create Batman story number 5085. Black Canary is hot. That's the only reason she's relevant in any way. If Black Canary wasn't wearing fishnets, then nobody would even know her name. She's like Bane, when Bane's like, nobody knew who I was until I put on the mask. Except in her case, it's like nobody cared about who I was until I started wearing fucking fishnets and basically a bunny girl costume. Many such cases, by the way. I do goon over Power Girl as well. I think Power Girl still is the hottest of the superhero women. Her suit is just horny enough. See, I like my female characters to be wearing stuff where women wear in real life and would probably convince themselves that they don't look that slutty or they look slutty and cute. So it's realistic in that way. Like, you know, when I grew up in the 2000s where every girl was wearing low-cut jeans where you could see their thong, but women convinced them that this was normal, that every guy could see their underwear at all times. And I didn't think much about it at the time, but in retrospect, it kind of set a standard for me about the type of sexuality I want in my video games and stuff, or my comics and shit. I don't want it to be like the hentai designs, where they basically have floss covering their pussy. I want it to be like something that women would actually wear in real life, but also convince themselves that it's not like slutty, but think it's empowering. So the Power Girl outfit is a really good example of this. It's clearly sexualized, but it's also something that women would actually wear if they think that they're hot, you know? We need more sexuality-based psyops. Unfortunately, we're getting a lot of sexuality-based psyops in the opposite direction right now. So you fuck gyarus having thong strings showing? Yes, I have sex with all those gyarus just hanging outside my house waiting to rape me. It's a hard life, but I try and just power through. I just look at the ceiling and count the spots on the ceiling and think of England while the gyarus abuse my penis. I'm doing this so you guys don't have to suffer. Gyarus don't exist, guys. That shit ain't real. Especially the tanned gyaru. Not anymore. When I was in Japan in the 90s, there were a shit ton of tanned gyaru though. The brown kuro gyaru. Funny enough, Taimanin has good design without the giga boobs. Taimanin has good design with the giga boobs. I will not allow such boob slander in my stream. What a noble sacrifice. I suffer so you guys don't have to. I'm 37, so in about 5 years, I'll probably be one of those faceless Japanese salaryman walking around in Tokyo, and then a bunch of gyarus approach him. He's like, "Hey, old man, give me your money, and I'm gonna suck your dick now." And he's like, "No, please stop, please, Gyaru-san, don't suck my dick, no." What do you mean they are a myth? Aren't they just tan Japanese girls? They existed in the 90s. They don't exist anymore. It's like, it would be the equivalent if you guys were like, "Oh, flappers. I fucking love flapper girls. The 1920s fashion trend. Oh man, flapper girls are so hot. I can't wait when I find a flapper girl that's gonna take my virginity." And you just have to be like, "Bro, I have some bad news for you, bro. Yes, flappers were real in 1920, but like all fashion, women stop, participating in that fashion after a while. So the chance of you actually encountering a flapper girl to take your virginity is extremely low." I would say the same thing for big titty goth girls, but I think there's more big titty goth girls available on the market right now than tanned gyaru in Japan. What did all the gyaru turn into? Trad wives? Yes. No, they just turned into, You know what? I might be just speaking too much from the experience of being in the middle of Tokyo, because that's where I've been these past years in Japan. But if you go to, like, the boondocks, there might be gyaru. I remember there was way more gyaru in the Kansai western part of Japan back in the day as well than Tokyo. So I think the farther you get away from Tokyo, the higher the chance of you encountering gyaru. Unironically, the best place to have sex, if you want to have sex in Japan, is to be in Okinawa. Lowest income and highest birth rate in Japan, Okinawa. So if you're an American, you should try joining the Marines and hope you get stationed at Okinawa instead of like some really shitty, Turkmenistan or something. So I know there's good YouTubers. Well, you don't have to be extreme like that. Turkmenistan is my favorite U.S. ally. The U.S. has military bases in the weirdest of places. It's just like, yeah, This is the U.S. naval base in North Korea. I'm like, what? You have a base there? It's like, yeah. Anyone who wants to deny that the fact that the U.S. is a massive imperial power, you only need to check out where the United States still has bases. Turkmenistan is very closed down. For a second, I didn't even know if Turkmenistan was a real country or if it was just like my brain misremembering shit. Those Central Asian countries, man. It says, the Wikipedia says Turkmenistan is a country in Central Asia bordered by the Caspian Sea and largely covered by the Karakum Desert. It's known for archaeological ruins. It's a kind of a bad sign when the first thing they talk about your country is the fact that it has like a bunch of archaeological ruins. It means that maybe your country is it's seen the best of its days in the past. They need those bases all over the world if they want to expand the Burger King empire. Unironically, the reason why as high as prices seem for us, part of the reason why prices are the way they are, and by that I mean they could be way higher, is because the US Navy has such a massive imperial presence over the world in which the US Navy controls all the shipping lanes and stuff, so there can be free commerce, and then we can like build shit in a third world country and then ship it to America and stuff like that. And if the US wasn't a massive imperial power, everything would be more expensive because we wouldn't have the global economy. China is pretending like they could do that shit, but they don't actually have the resources. A shit ton of the world, the way the world functions right now, only functions because the US is basically everywhere. And we spend $1 gazillion on the military budget. What's a trad wife, BB? Well, we can just Google image search that. It's basically women who think that they look hot in 50s makeup. If you Google image search trad wife, the first thing you see is this bitch. A trad wife is short for traditional wife, is a woman who prefers to take a traditional or ultra-traditional role in marriage, including true beliefs that a woman's place is in the home. It's basically women who think they look hot wearing 50s makeup. Even this isn't even really 50s makeup. They're basically just selling their sexuality on TikTok. As a woman, your top priority should be wife and motherhood. It's women who don't want to have to work and can do basic things like cooking and cleaning and getting pregnant, and then want to advertise how hot they are for getting pregnant on TikTok. This makes all the women who are forced to work because they can't find a man to support them absolutely seething when you flex that shit. It's basically saying I'm a modern aristocrat who doesn't have to work besides doing extremely basic needs. Until you have a kid, and then you're fucked. Because then you have to, the baby don't give a fuck about your trad wife TikTok videos, but until you actually have the kid, you basically get to live a much easier lifestyle. It's a white girl privilege thing? Yes. Back in the day, we considered cooking and cleaning and getting pregnant to be something that you just normally did as a woman. But we now have a bunch of white girls on TikTok who are like, no, this is my identity. She is selling a fantasy and coup material. Yes. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? Ironically, Japan has a shit ton of trad wives in the sense that there's a lot of women who are just stay-at-home mothers. It's kind of like a style of bimbo. It's not a style of bimbo. It is a bimbo. She's doing the bimbo makeup. She actually looks like the bimbofication porn that you see on e-hentai. Times has changed, hasn't it? Times have changed in the fact that whether you're a woman or a man, you have to work like 20-hour shifts at your Amazon warehouse factory to survive. Only the most luckiest of individuals can just be like, haha, I'm a trad wife at home. Our family can survive on a single income, LMAO. Unlike you dumbass bitches who are getting angry at me, you have to work. Basically, having a single income household like the 50s is like a huge flex now, which is pretty funny. Which is basically what she's doing. She's flexing on all the other bitches on TikTok by being like, haha, I don't have to work. Minus the inflatable lips. Well, she's still in stage 1 of the bimbofication meme, so... Who the fuck comes to bimbofication? That shit is so uncomeable. I cannot fap to that. Oh my god, people on Twitter flex that shit nonstop with the fucking Rolex watches too. Yes, I'm sure all the people who own the Rolexes and have conspicuous wealth on TikTok and Twitter and shit are not actually secretly poor and are not going into debt or just borrowing the fucking watch and the Lamborghini just so they can flex as an influencer on the internet. I'm sure they're all actually rich. Also, please sign up to my Get Rich Quick seminar. My name is Andrew Tate. Thanks, guys. What about Mind Break? It's kind of the same. Yeah, but I'm saying the whole aesthetic of bimbofication is uncoomable. I don't really care if they've become like a stupid whore or whatever. The mental aspect of bimbofication that guys are masturbating over. I'm saying that the whole aesthetic of having gigantic fake-ass lips and gigantic fake-ass ass and gigantic fake tits is uncomeable. That shit looks awful. Any woman who's thinking I want double D's and I want to get fake tits, please stop. You look much better with whatever flat ass boobs you have and whatever fake ass shit you're sticking in. Wealth has moved upwards. You either live in a McMansion or a $2,000 a month apartment and feed on the bugs that come out of the sink. There's other options. You can also live in a major metropolitan area and then spend like $5,000 a month or $8,000 a month for a apartment with the bugs coming out of the sink if you want to live in New York, for example. You can also live in a extreme rural area in like a dilapidated farmhouse and pay nothing because nobody knows that you're living there, and then just shoot meth. BB gets soft at the vacuum lips, shaking my head. Anything that looks like an IRL white woman, my penis loses all of its strength. It's just like, oh no, is that a white woman? I'm done. $2,000 is crazy. Unironically, you can just like move to Japan and still have $800 a month rent. More like $500 a month rent if you're making money in dollars and converting it to yen. If you live in the countryside, this is the benefits of having a decreasing population. Laura mean the philatric style will never die. AI horrors once again. Ironically, the #1 AI style is a very specific Taiwanese artist, Oranjimaru YD. I think it was YD. And I'm looking for other people with better Lauras, but it's basically them. AI bimbo lips are fucking disgusting. I just don't understand why people like bimbofication. What do you think of the subsect of muscle fetishists that have an obsession with veins and every muscle fiber had to be visible? They have body dysmorphia. They were trying to copy Angelina Jolie's pouty lips. I think I read somewhere that beauty standards often evolve based on the media through which they're consumed. So in the 50s, there was a specific hairstyle and makeup and body type that looked good on the small black and white televisions that we looked at back in the day. And then that changed when people started getting color TVs and then bigger and bigger screens in which they could look at stuff. And now that everybody looks at shit on their phones, then we have a new beauty standard that looks good on phones. So I read, according to this, their theory was that like the pouty lips and the specific makeup that we have and stuff is a aesthetic that is good to be looked at on the small phone screen. And I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Because those exaggerated lips and shit, that probably looks good on your Instagram or whatever. If people like fake lips, cool beans, but that shit is unattractive to me, yeah, I just want to stay out of that California shit. I just like my Japanese trad wives, you know? I'm all like, I don't like IRL women until I go to Japan, and then I'm incredibly horny. If you were on Discord during the time when I went to Japan in 2000 and it was 2 years ago, I think. November, like 1.5 years ago. So it was November 2022, I think? Yeah. I was actually getting mildly depressed because I was like, oh man, I made a huge mistake in my life. I should have been trying to live in Japan and be a normie and find a Japanese wife and have kids, and why the fuck am I sitting in my mother's house just drawing all day? What the fuck have I done? Because like for the first time in a really long time, I was like, oh, I actually want this. I want to like have a human relationship with another human being. This is what being around Japanese women does to me. And then when I got back to America, all those desires just disappeared because I don't give a fuck about America. It just turned off. I was like, oh, I don't care. I'm just going to go hide in my room and draw again. It's pretty funny. As soon as I get back in America, I'm surrounded by fat-ass American women who are like 50 pounds overweight but claim that they have curves and shit. I'm just like, whatever, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna masturbate to anime. white pig go home. It's there was a time in my life in which I found white women attractive, and now I'm just like, that's nice, honey. But yeah, it's not like they care about me, so. There was a New York Times front page article profile on a fat activist, just like straight up on the New York Times yesterday. I was like, that's it. I'm fucking done with this country. She was like one of those types of people that claims that fat isn't the problem. People not liking fat people is the problem. And I was just like, you know what? I'm fucking done. I don't have anything more to say. I'm just gonna go to Japan and not come back. Fuck this fat country. I like how there's no fat activists in men, lol. It's really actually ridiculous if you take a second to think what has become of female egos in the last like 15 years or so, where they're like, you literally can't show attractive people on TV or in ads and stuff because it'll make us fucking feel bad. Have you ever heard a guy be like, please stop showing images of David Beckham's abs because it makes me feel inadequate? If your local lard ass started saying that you need to ban all attractive men because it makes him feel bad, all the other guys would be like, shut the fuck up, fat ass, work out and get in shape, and you'll be happier with your life. But instead we have, on the female side, a fucking massive industry right now of women talking about how oppressed they are because there's attractive women in media and commercials. So now we can't even have like a lingerie commercial without an overweight woman showing her fucking pit hair and stuff like that. It's crazy. Fat activists are a fucking plague on the earth, encouraging people to eat themselves to death. It's also especially bad that they often have kids that are also going to be overweight because they don't feed them properly. Only feelings matter, not reasoning. Yeah. I guess we should be happy that society has reached a point where we have enough leftover resources to carry the burden of these fucking parasitic human beings. Whether it's in terms of like the health insurance or them not being eaten by wolves or whatever, which is what would happen if we were like cavemen. We'd be like, we give the fat activists to the wolves first so the rest of the tribe can survive. I had an overweight teacher who had 2 babies while I was in high school. Both ended up being miscarriages. I remember in middle school, our gym teacher was so overweight that we had a class of softball, and a softball rolled to her feet, and she tried to bend over and pick it up, and she couldn't fucking pick up the softball because she was so out of shape in the fucking gym class, and she kept on saying, oh dear, oh my, trying to pick up the fucking softball, and it was the most saddest, pathetic shit I've seen in my life. And I was just like, there's something wrong with this fucking country. Middle school was a very sad time for everybody, but, you know, it was pretty dark. Feelings don't care about your facts, shitlord. They really don't, actually. The fat activist woman's body will fail on her and she'll die from various fat-related illnesses, but she'll just go to the grave feeling that, like, it wasn't her fault or whatever. Like, that she got her high blood pressure or whatever because people are mean to her on the internet or something instead of the fact that she's grossly overweight, so... Fat girls would be more attractive if they all didn't have the same exact 4th grade math teacher face. Here, let me actually bring up the New York Times article. Because she looks exactly like what you would expect. Here you go. Here she is. Wow, surprising, surprising. This is the person telling you that you shouldn't be mean to them because that's why they're overweight, because of the biases in society. It's also depressing. Will there be any fat elves in your manga for inclusivity? There's already a fat elf manga. I don't want to step on that person's, you know, their fetish. They've already figured that shit out, so... We live in a society? We sure do. Yes, sir. Legalize cocaine and popularize anorexia to fight back. I'm okay with, like, the body positivity if it's for Japan, because... There's literally a ton of anorexic women that you see when you're walking around in Tokyo, and it's fucking disgusting. They look like starving Ethiopian children or some shit. They have there. You can actually see if you walk around in Tokyo for 20 minutes, you'll see women who have that thing where the knee bone is thicker than the thigh, so the leg goes like this. This shit. This is like the knee. You'll actually see women walking around like that, and it's like, oh my fucking god, that's so disgusting. So yeah, Japanese women need to be like, they need some fucking body positivity so they stop the anorexia. And American women need to stop fucking stuffing their faces with fattening food. It's just, how hard is it to just live a healthy lifestyle where you work out, exercise, and then eat the right amount of calories? The answer is obviously very fucking difficult because none of these people seem to be able to do it, but maybe their parents don't want to feed them. Nah, it really is the fashion psyops that's fucking them over. Japanese women are like, especially women in Tokyo, they're way deep in the fashion zone where they just like, they buy whatever the fashion industry tells them to do. So they are actually being psyoped to starve themselves. It's pretty fucking disgusting. There is no healthy middle ground. Either it's anorexia or whales. Yeah. Again, I don't understand why the woman's female psyche is so fucking weak. Women are gonna be like, no, it's the pressures of society telling us that we have to be this. It's just like, bro, please. Just take responsibility for your own body for once in your life. Is that asking too much? Obviously. I heard it's worse in Korea with beauty standards for both men and women. I mean, that's why they all have plastic surgery, right? When a salad costs like $30 but a burger is like $6. I mean, you can just not eat the burger. You can get cheap vegetables if you're not buying organic and shit. Just like buy a cabbage and stir fry the cabbage to get your veggies and shit. Also, burgers are not $6 anymore. Don't lie to chat. There's no way to eat a fucking burger, even if it's cheap-ass burger, for less than $10 in the United States at this point. Inflation is real. You're asking a fat fuck to not eat a burger? I had McDonald's like 2 days ago. It was pretty solid. I still go to McDonald's because it has like the 20% off coupons. Here's the thing. You can totally get away with eating a burger. You just need to exercise, people. The answer is exercise. I know it's fucking impossible for Americans to understand this. But I ran 5 miles last night, and then I ran another 5 miles this morning, and I also went to Planet Fitness on the way back and worked elliptical machines and like did pull-ups and shit. You just need to fucking exercise, okay? McDonald's is C tier. It's also the closest in my case, so... Ball is fat shaming. Also, here's another pro tip. You don't need to eat until you're full. This is extremely hard for Americans to understand. But, in fact, you can eat, like, until you're half full. This is a real thing. You don't need to eat until your stomach is stretched and you're like, oh, I can't eat anymore. You can just eat a small amount and you'll be okay. In fact, you can probably not eat at all for multiple days and you'll be just fine because you have lots of stored calories. I heard McD's is really bad in the US. I wonder why. I don't know. I only have lived long term in US and Japan, but I can say that pretty much all the food options are inferior in the United States compared to Japan. Although Mickey D's taste pretty similar, I'm gonna say. There's some Japanese only menus, but people love eating, yes. They're just sort of out of touch with their bodies. Holy shit, the maps are getting blown the fuck out. I want a double quarter pounder from McD right now. The double quarter pounder has gotten way better when they decided that they were going to actually start cooking the meat, like, when you order it, instead of just, like, heating that shit up. I didn't eat double quarter pounders at McDonald's at all back in the day. And then they were like, they started advertising this very basic concept of cooking the burger when you actually order it. And I was like, oh, it actually tastes like real meat now, instead of fucking microwaved shit. Wow. Good job, McDonald's. Every once in a while I get pink on the inside. Yeah, it was actually a little pink, the burger I had yesterday. It was a slightly pink double quarter pounder, but I figured it would probably be okay. I mean, people eat like raw ass burger all the time, and they're like, I don't care if I get hepatitis A. So I was like, yeah, this is probably fine. I still eat at McDonald's because they have the 20% off coupons that if you use your cell phone and give them your data and shit, then they give you 20% off coupons every day. So it takes the price of eating a hamburger from like $12 down to like $8 or whatever. So yeah, $1 medium fries, that shit is good as well. Also, the points add up pretty quickly. So sometimes I'll order McDonald's just using my points. So all in all, it saves quite a bit compared to other fast food where you can end up spending like $16 for just like a standard menu item. $1.50 McChicken, yeah. On the other hand, even that pales in comparison to the price efficiency of just eating beans and rice at home. Every time you leave your house, you're probably going to waste some money. So if you live my lifestyle where you're just sitting at home eating leftovers and beans and rice and stuff, you're probably in a pretty good place financially. Unless you're one of those dumbasses who orders DoorDash. As someone who is making like $20 an hour off DoorDash, it's like the most wasteful, high expense shit you can possibly do with your life if you're like a middle class existence. DoorDashing is for people who are like literal aristocrats. It's not for you. The culprit is ultra processed foods. True. I ate an entire bag of popcorn the other day. The type of popcorn that you buy at Kroger's that is like kettle corn and has like sugar and salt on it. And the reason I ate that is because it's engineered to make you want to eat more. There's actual food scientists, that's a job, where they test the amount of like sugar and salt and like fat they put in the food, and they put in just enough that your brain isn't satisfied and you want to eat more. They don't try and make it as satisfying as possible. They make it so that you're just unsatisfied, and then they use that so that you fucking eat the entire bag. Which is why you need to stop eating that type of like packaged foods, because they're fucking with you. I create a DoorDash account, use 2 coupon codes for new accounts, delete my account and make a new one later. Nice. But I don't like waiting for shit, so I'm not going to ever use DoorDash. If you want to solve most of the world's problems, kill the poor. But who will the rich exploit then? Food scientists existing blowed my mind back in 2009. So, for example, I buy Haagen-Dazs ice cream because it doesn't have that. It's not engineered so that you want to eat more. Like, I can eat just a spoonful of Haagen-Dazs ice cream and then stop eating it. So the ice cream lasts way, way longer. I just eat like 1 spoonful after dinner or something. Whereas if I buy Ben & Jerry's, I fucking finish that pint in like a day. Because it's clearly engineered to not be satisfying enough, and I just like eat the entire thing. So being self-aware of what the food is doing and what it's doing to like your mental state is actually really important if you don't want to be a fat fuck. You have to understand that the food industry is fucking with you. And try to find the things that aren't engineered in that way. Have you ever had Ben & Jerry's Banana Split? My favorite ice cream flavor is the mint ice cream with the cookies and cream instead of the chocolate chips, which is often called like grasshopper pie or something in America. And I end up eating a ton of that shit when I order that. When I buy that flavor from Ben & Jerry's, because I end up searching for the chunks of the cookies and like digging for the cookies like I'm mining or something. I buy 32 ounces of turkey for $8, 2 loaves of bread for $3, and like 26 slices of cheese for $4, and use that to make enough for like a full week. The problem with turkey is that it doesn't go well with Japanese cooking and rice. So my household is a Japanese food zone. And turkey has that weird sweetness to it, so it never really works out well. It's good for sandwiches, but if you're getting your carbs in the form of rice, it's not the best. Chicken is way better from that aspect. I make my own ice cream. Don't you need to have like an ice cream maker? Maybe it's not that hard. Turkey is sweet, never knew. It has a very, like, distinct sweetness to its meat. It doesn't go well with a lot of other ingredients, honestly. You kind of need the mustard to counter the turkey. So the standard flavoring for turkey is mustard and mayo, and then you make turkey sandwiches or the gravy setup. But it doesn't go well with rice or like soy sauce or those type of things. Alright guys, I'm going to end the stream here because I want to watch the NBA playoffs. See you around, guys. I hope you have a nice night. See you around. Good night. Enjoy your food discussion.